Hey YouTubers, it's Jeff Nadolny. Hope everybody's Friday is going good. I've got a couple little stories that I just found. Find them very interesting. I'd like to pass them along to you. They come to me from Cryptozoology News, and they're both from Pennsylvania, which is not too far from my home state of New York. But here's story 1. Regalsville, Pennsylvania. A motorist says he saw a tall humanoid meeting an unidentified creature on the side of the road in eastern Pennsylvania. The man, who requested to remain anonymous, said he was driving home after hanging out with his friends the night of June 15, 2012. When he came across the odd couple standing on an undisclosed road near Regalsville, a borough in Bucks County with a population of 870. He states, "I have a heavy foot and was enjoying an exciting drive on the empty roads." He wrote on a report submitted to the MUFON website earlier this month. As I was coming up to the nice S-curve, I noticed what I thought to be a deer moving through the brush to my right, about to cross the road in front of me. I braked hard to avoid a collision, he continued. Reportedly, as the deer crossed the road, the eyewitness noticed a glowing blue light coming out of what he calls the helmet of a tall man standing on the left side of the road. Then he says the creature ran up to a strange man. The headlights fell directly on the pair. I had slowed down to the speed of about 10 to 20 miles an hour to avoid the collision and had a clear, direct view, he recalls. This next second lasted an hour in my mind. The eyewitness says the four-legged creature was similar to a deer in size, with a dark brown-gray covering that he had described as being leathery. It had a head similar to a dog with an elongated snout and short ears. It had the build of a greyhound with long legs supporting a smaller, slender frame. Its legs, he had explained, were bent backwards. He also said the creature didn't have a tail. The human-like being was described as tall and wearing something resembling an astronaut suit. He was wearing a black suit that had several tools and pockets similar to something a Navy SEAL would wear during nighttime ops. He said the strange-looking man also had a visor over his eyes, out of which illuminated a soft, velvety blue light. He was watching me as closely as I was watching him as I passed slowly 7 feet away. We made eye contact, and the blue glow followed me in the rearview mirror until I made the next bend. And he was out of sight. Then he says a disturbing telepathic event took place. I felt him call to me. It was like a feeling more than words. It wanted me to come back. It was a strong urge to turn around, mixed with feelings of peace and tranquility. Suddenly I realized that I had unconsciously brought my car to a stop. This frightened me to the core. It still does. I immediately floored the car and blew the stop sign at the end of the road as I raced to home. And safely, he explained. According to the eyewitness, however, this was not an isolated incident. A triangular-shaped flying object hovering over his property have now become a recurring event. I have had many sightings and feel as though I may be under surveillance. Not long after that, I became aware that I was being startled awake several nights a week at precisely 3:33 a.m. The number 333 is of special importance among UFOologists, paranormal researchers, and religious groups. The 3-digit number has also been used in popular culture, as seen in the community simulation video game series Animal Crossing, created by Nintendo in 2001. The latest of its series, New Leaf, features an alien creature entering a UFO to deliver a message in alien language at 3:33 a.m. on Sunday and Monday. Coincidentally, the game is populated with anthropomorphic animals exhibiting, among others, deer and dog physical characteristics. The man is now asking for help understand the sighting and to keep him safe from the alleged creatures. I want to know if anyone else out there has seen this man with the blue light or are being monitored by flashlights. I also need to know if my new daughter is safe. Is there any way to be safe? Will a secure bunker keep them out? Is it a possibility that these are nonviolent, harmless watchers? Or are they all invasive abductors, he said. A recent sighting did not escape the attention of some veteran paranormal investigators who called the sighting compelling and even worrisome. Last month, a former Marine in Ohio claimed to have witnessed a similar creature with bent backward legs as he and his wife drove home. Story 2. Exton, Pennsylvania. A man in southeast Pennsylvania says he saw a creature that resembled a Tasmanian tiger and part hyena. Christopher Connor, a 34-year-old audio engineer and videographer, told Cryptozoology News on Monday that they were driving through on 202 North in late April when they came across an unidentified animal. We saw this thing dart across the road as we were merging from one highway to another. It ran directly in front of my vehicle, he said. It wasn't exactly lightning fast either, and I was careful not to hit it. It was fast enough to start from the left and cross all the way over before I passed it, he added. Connor described it as a young, canine-like creature with very tall legs. The four-legged animal, he said, exhibited patches of different colored hair. My girlfriend made a joke and said it looked like camo shorts that I had just purchased. You could tell it was young, whatever it was, and that it would grow larger. I swear, the first thing I thought of that it bared any resemblance to was a Tasmanian tiger, but I, of course, knew that wasn't what it was. It just looked at the Theleson picture also, and the creature we saw was taller on its limbs. But the body was very similar. My girlfriend was with me at the same time, and she said yesterday she still has a picture of it in her head. It didn't look like any canine or feline I have ever seen. She thought it looked like it was part hyena, and I agreed with that. The Lechian hyena Tasmanian tiger sighting. Connor's girlfriend drew this sketch of the creature they reportedly saw near Exton, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania man says he is sure it was not a dog or cat, and that definitely it wasn't a raccoon. I have read about coy wolves being in the area of northwest Philadelphia. I wouldn't completely rule out that it could have been a young one of those, but I've never seen one, and I kind of have the feeling it wasn't. This was like nothing I had ever seen before, he explained. In March 2016, a man in Tennessee claimed to have seen a Tasmanian tiger on Interstate 75. The thylacine, commonly known as the Tasmanian tiger, was the largest carnivorous marsupial known to date. Native to Australia, New Guinea, and Tasmania, the thylacine became extinct in the 20th century, mainly due to human indiscriminate action. Reports of new sightings from these areas surface frequently, but the lack of evidence suggests animal misidentification. Louisa Ann Meredith's 1880 Tasmanian Friends and Foes, feathered, furred, and finned. It is not common for a similar sighting to be reported in the American continent. Located in Chester County, Exxon has the population of 5,000. Well, I hope you like those two stories. I just kind of was reading through it, and four-legged animal, Pennsylvania, 2 stories, very similar but not, a lot of weird stuff. I love the weird stuff, and I hope you guys do too. And I'm sorry about the noise in the background. The motorcycle just ripped by my house, and a little disturbing, especially after 12 minutes of recording. But anyway, everybody have a great Friday night and a safe weekend, and just never stop looking for the truth.